These are things that make TANDJ the hottest radio show in the 7-5, and it all starts now.
We good? We on? Is the Okay, awesome, exciting. It's like I'm a little staticky. I understand. I did that with the sound. Sorry, it didn't like my
It didn't like that at all.
my noises that I was making. I want to welcome everybody back to the TANDJ's Child's Play show. I am Treyblying. This is Jmellothagreat.
Hello.
And we have some new faces with us in the studio. I have our roommate over here, Miss
Misha.
And Miss Leah Wells and Kierra Martin, the previous homecoming queen and running homecoming queen. So, I can't give you homecoming queen title yet, right? I just had to say like running. I can't give it. Okay, gotcha. I can't give you the title yet. Well, let's hope you get it. Let's hope you get that. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching. If you guys are tuned in, if you guys watched our last show, we appreciate you. If you guys didn't watch our last show, you can watch it on our live. If you're on our live, the link is in the description. Also follow us on our social medias and things of that such. Exciting things. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start off and talking about Prince Leah, something I've seen on Instagram as I was scrolling through social media, which I'm always doing every time. Like, that's so often, always on our phones. But this is the video, well, this is the audio that you guys are going to hear about what he said. And it really, really struck me. So I was like, okay, I need to answer this question for our show. So I want to hear you guys. I want to let you guys hear this audio that he had.
That word influencer is interesting to
Start
me
from the beginning.
because it's like we're influencing people to do what? A lot of people call themselves social media influencers, but you're influencing people to do what? Is it to reach a level of beauty that is not attainable naturally? Is it to have people lust after cars or material objects that will never bring somebody true happiness? Is this what it means to be an influencer? You know, when you get pulled over, you're drunk. They say you're under the influence. A lot of people are intoxicated by what these influencers put out there. When you get sick, what do they say? You've come down with influenza. A lot of people are ill because of what these influencers put out there. So I just have one question for every influencer, because we're all influencers. And that question is, when people come to your page, do they walk away better or worse? Thank you.
Yeah, so that was a little audio clip. I think they posted that on the Shade Room. That I went and followed him on Instagram. But it was really like a message that really stuck with me, you know. And I think about, like, you know, people that I follow on Instagram, you know, the people that we look up to or that we look at on a daily basis, you know. And is it positive or is it negative? So I wanted to answer that question, you know, kind of like for our show, you know, like what is the type of message that we're trying to put out? And it's definitely positivity. You know, give you guys advice. And have fun, but it's always positive. We don't want to do nothing negative here on our show. So I definitely wanted to answer that question. But and I also want you to encourage you guys to question yourself. You know, like what are you getting from the people that you look up to or that you follow? You know, on social media. Is it positive? Is it negative? You know, because it's not good if it's negative, obviously. You know, and that affects you. So you definitely make sure that you have positive influences in your life. Well, enough of all the sentimental type stuff. Any thoughts on that? You know, like the influencing thing. You know, you guys feel free to weigh into.
I mean, I feel like when people look at my page, they're like, "Oh my gosh, she has so much fun. I want to be like her." But I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has their own struggle. But what they put on social media might not always be what they're going through.
Right.
But from my social media, I try to put out no matter what, just keep going. Always smile, keep pushing, have fun, because you're gonna be here another day. You only live once, so have fun while you can.
Right. Jada?
YOLO.
Yeah. YOLO. So,
I mean, you can't really. This is my thing. You can't look at social media as something as a motivation. I just can't, because they're probably not having fun in that $1 million car. They're probably renting it.
I definitely think
I get the positivity thing though. I get it, but then again, another thing that you can take from that video is that you can't give these kids like a wrong infliction of what life is supposed to be, materialistic things and whatnot. That's not what happiness is.
And I think often, you know, people, it is like, you know, materialistic type things. You know, they see that these things on social media.
It's nice to have nice things, but it's not going to be the end all.
Right. And they think that, you know, that they see these things on social media. It's like, okay, well, this is what life is supposed to be, or whatever. And if it's not that outcome, you know, you're mentally, that does something to you. So you have to definitely be mindful.
All the models, how their bodies look, all the makeup they wear. Like, oh, I want to be pretty like her. I gotta have this to look this pretty. But
exactly.
It's not that.
What do you guys think?
I definitely agree. Before actually seeing this, I saw it on my own while I was strolling down my news feed. And I really liked it. And I thought it was very interesting because it is so true. And even just in my own life, I look at some of the people's page and I'm like, dang, why ain't as pretty as she is? Like, dang, her lips is popping. Like, so I definitely, you know, had to take a second and reflect on my life and to think about it like, they may portray that they're happy and stuff, but you never know what they're going through.
Right.
You never know.
Right.
So you just got to, like, I just stay positive and, you know, just try to keep pushing no matter what.
Absolutely.
I definitely do have to tend to draw motivation from, like, things that aren't social media related because if I try to, it also depends on what application you're using because I'm sorry, I'm never going to draw inspiration from Twitter. It's just not... Look, my friends are ignorant. We're never going to be there. But I feel like with Instagram and seeing all the models and the pictures, like you said before, you do kind of have to like focus on yourself and put yourself at a higher image and know your self-worth before you look at things like that.
Right. And definitely, I mean, you're going to see it for sure, but, you know not to compare yourself, or you don't know what that model has done to get to where she is, or, you know, a lot of times we see things on social media and we think, okay, it's, if they can post it, you know, I want it too, and it's that easy. You know, you don't know what they've been doing, or you don't know what they've been working towards, so you can't just expect that, you know, type of outcome. So, yeah. Okay. So we're gonna move right along. We're gonna start talking about homecoming. So that's why I have these two beautiful ladies in here, talking about homecoming. So you guys both have experience a little bit more. I'm sorry. Leah has a little bit more experience than Miss Kierra, because Kierra is running, and Leah has already won homecoming queen. So what can you tell us about the whole experience, the whole spiel on homecoming and the running experience?
All right, so the running experience was really lit. It was really crazy. Late nights, early mornings, you know. So that I would like to say. So put a lot of hard work into it. So it was a really joy though, because I got to meet a lot of people that I may not usually talk to. You know, I hit everybody, the entire campus, trying to, you know, talk to them, see what they like, and, you know, everything like that. So it was really, really nice. And for me, what I did was try and go get those like votes face to face, because those are the ones that really matter. Because to be honest, no matter how much you promote, how much you put it on social media, how much you do whatever around campus, that doesn't guarantee a vote. Because people can look at it and be like, oh, next, you know. So I really went out and did those face-to-face personal votes, and, you know, people asked me questions about, you know, myself, my goals, and things like that. And, you know, we just had interactions, and that's how I really got people to vote for me.
So definitely the in-person interaction was probably what won over, you know, your votes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can see that. You know, you know, see it on social media and you're kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll vote for you. Yeah. But if you're like, but you know, if you're there and you're like, hey, vote for me. How are you? You know, what's your name? You get to know somebody personally, you know, on a personal level, then you definitely can win over somebody's vote that way.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then a lot of people, they look at it and they say, oh, I'll do it later. And then later it's too late.
Right.
You
and
know?
it never comes. Yeah. Gotcha. So you said that a lot of early mornings and a lot of late nights. So like, talk about that. So what do you mean as far as, because I'm just thinking like, there's just their names on the ballot, they're running, you know, they got to throw their name out there. That's it. But obviously it's a lot more than what we just see, you know. Yeah,
it definitely is. So I know, if you know James, he's actually Mr. Rural Monarch.
Okay.
So yeah, James. So me and him at the end, we kind of like came together and like we started doing videos. He did videos. I know he did stuff during activity hours. And you know, I was just promoting. I had yard signs. So it goes in a lot of like, you have to think about what you want to do, how you want to portray yourself and, like, you know, just, like, everything about yourself. So, like, my slogan was, I'm last on a ballot, but I'm first in your heart. So I'm used to being last, you know, because my last name is Wells. Sadly, you know.
No, Sally. You better rock your last name. No,
yes.
Sally.
So I just embraced it. I embraced it and used it to help me win, you know. And we just had to put a lot of work into it because we had to think about how can we win over the votes. And that's the most important part. So sometimes you had to stay up late to try to, you know, go to the events. Even when you didn't feel like it, you had to go to the event so you can socialize, so you can get the vote, you know. So that's where the late nights come in and the early mornings come in, and where you're trying to think about what you want to say or, you know, just what kind of promotional ideas you want to throw out there so Old Dominion can see.
Gotcha. So, Kierra, what about you? How was homecoming week been for you, you know, with running?
So firstly, it's been busy. But I'm used to being busy. I'm super involved on campus, but mostly it's been really busy. I've been trying to talk to people I wouldn't normally talk to because I want to get those votes. I want to talk to those people. I want to see what they want to see homecoming queen or, Monarch Royalty do in the future or next year or whenever. And I want to see how they want to be involved with that. And I want to just interact, like Leah said. I do want to interact with people and get to know more people outside of my normal circle, because I talk to a lot of the people that are more so involved, but I want to reach out to people that are less involved because involvement is what kept me at this school in the first place. So
as far as an involvement, I know you say you're talking to people that you normally wouldn't talk to. How is that? I mean, I know, like, now and today, like, we know we have our friends, we have our group, and we follow our people on social media, but, you know, if we see our people on social media, sometimes we don't even speak. So, like, how is that, you know, like, with, you know, interacting with people that are outside of your group?
So, in asking for votes or getting to know people for that, it's kind of a little nerve-wracking, but I've been doing the whole talking to people I wouldn't normally talk to since I got here, from being an RA to being president of my sorority last year. So,
a little resume.
She building it up.
I mean, and kind of trying to garner votes is a different type of approach in talking to someone you wouldn't normally talk to, because you're like, I know you don't know me, but I want you to do this for me.
Gotcha.
So it's a little nerve-wracking, but I try to remember, like, the key points in talking, and remember that you're trying to make a connection more so than you're trying to push a vote. Well, that's a good mindset to have, you know, more of a connection versus, you know, a vote. You know, you're not looking at them as a number. I'm looking at you looking at you as a number, but at the same time, I'm trying to interact with you on a personal level.
They're both benefiting.
So I definitely agree with that, and I know I consider myself a social butterfly. So for me, like, you know, even though I was trying to get the votes, I did make so many connections. I made so many connections that I'm truly grateful for.
I can only imagine.
So so it was really good talking to different people. You know, that's why I say go out your comfort zone, do something that you don't usually do. And that's life changing.
Wow. That's deep. This is deep.
It really is.
This is deep stuff. So really? What was the and I guess I can get this answer from both of you. What was the initial thing that made you want to run for homecoming?
For me, it's something I've never done. I don't tend to put myself in a position where I'm like the number one person looked at. Like, the first time I really did that was like being president of my sorority. That's the first time I ever did it, and then I was like, okay, you know, I can still kind of be in the background a little bit. But with this, I just wanted to try something different. I wanted to kind of push my limits. And I was a little apprehensive and a little anxious, like, the whole time, because I was like, in applying, I was just like, do I really want to do this? But I have these goals for the campus and what I want to see the position do. So I just tried to push myself outside of that.
So I'm curious as to what, and you probably could, you know, elaborate on this a little bit more. After you win, you know, homecoming queen, like, what's next? So you said that, you know, things involved in the campus. Good Lord, things that are that you're involved with the campus after, you know, homecoming. So what are those things that?
Well, for me personally, I wanted to be homecoming queen so that I could, you know, do more. I wanted to be kind of like an ambassador for ODU and get more involved, which I'm already very, very involved, but I wanted to be seen, like, so that people know ODU is getting down, getting dirty, helping the community, and doing things, you know. But once I became queen, it was really kind of like that's it.
Okay.
You know, so that was kind of disappointing to me, only
Okay.
because when I decided I wanted to do this in my interview, I told them I want to help out. I want to do what I have to do to make ODU look awesome because I love ODU and my school spirit is very high. Yes, I really do. Diversity and culture. Yes. Literally in my interview, I ended with "Go Monarchs!" Yes. Okay. Yes. So I do wish that in the future, you know, for whoever else is to win, to maybe like try to do something where, you know, you're pushing doing more things, because that's what I did try to do, and unfortunately, you know, it didn't go as planned, but you know, I'm always trying, and that's all I can do.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's all you can do.
All you can do is try.
Definitely. So you got the crown, you know. So I mean, all you can. It's not much more, you know, after that. So that's good. So she mentioned that she had a slogan. Do you have a slogan?
It's not as elaborate. But my nickname is Key, so it's just Key for Queen.
Okay.
Okay.
Key for Queen.
Just a little
Play on the word.
Yeah,
Play on the word.
Gotcha. Key for Queen. Okay.
But you know, I don't really have like, I'm third on the ballot, so it's like.
So no
Middle child.
No ballot slogan
No
there.
ballot slogan.
Okay. What about as far as like cost? I know it got pricey because you know girls be like, I gotta get a dress, you know, I gotta get
my
this
hair
outfit.
did, makeup.
Right.
I just made an executive decision to treat my bank account like I treat Blackboard doing midterms.
And how was that?
I'm like,
And I'm gonna check next week.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Just spin it, you know.
She gonna check next week.
I'm gonna say a prayer. I'm gonna check next week.
Spin the check and get it right back.
Hey,
Right
right back.
Okay, live your best life.
I mean, regardless, I need the items. So, you know.
Okay.
Just gonna have to
Just go back to it.
pray on it.
Well, I can spin it and check it next week. I spin it and they'll be like, oh no, you can't.
You
spin
can't get
no
it
more.
back. You can't get it back.
Right. Can't check back. Password change. Okay. Well, that was. Do you guys have anything else that you guys want to say about like homecoming and overall?
You know, vote for me.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know,
How can people vote for you?
So my links are in both my Twitter and my Instagram. My
Okay.
Instagram is KIE.
Yep, we have the link in the bio.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my Twitter is _KIENOEO.
Okay.
And the links are both in the bio.
Yep. So the link is we have your Instagram link in the bio. We have your Instagram link as well in the bio. So if you guys want to follow them, be sure to do that.
Yes, vote.
They're gonna stick around and tune into the show with us and talk. We're gonna get their opinions as well. But we're gonna move on. So let's talk about. Why are you laughing?
Nothing.
Let's go.
Okay, so Kirk Franklin and Snoop Dogg did an interview.
Can I get a revolution?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo, woo.
I said the same thing. Like, okay, I have to watch this interview of Snoop Dogg and Kirk Franklin. I was like, oh, that's different.
Redemption.
You know, like
Yes,
the mix didn't seem like it would go together, but they actually had like a really good conversation. So in their interview, Snoop Dogg says that he believes that him and Kirk Franklin are similar people and that they mirror each other, and that their lives are like, you know, parallel, and that they come from the same cloth. Snoop Dogg is from Long Beach, California, and Kirk Franklin is from Fort Worth, Texas. And they said the purpose of the interview was just to be able to create a relationship with each other and kind of like get an understanding for one another, and sit down and really listen to one another. So if you guys haven't watched it, you guys should go and watch it. It's on YouTube. Just type in Kirk Franklin and Snoop Dogg, and it pops right up. So the little clip that caught my eye was Snoop Dogg saying that, you know, that hip hop, you know, or rap comes from gospel. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? What? That doesn't sound right. Yeah, but that was his claim, that it comes from gospel music. He said 95% of gangsta rappers were born and raised in a church. So that happens to be like their first like type of style of music.
I feel like that's kind of true, because every time I say a speech, I want to thank God
Right.
first before anybody.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, that you want to thank God first. So that makes sense. He says the church is where the artists learn how to perform, they learn how to act, how to be in plays, and how to conduct themselves, and how to articulate. So I was like, okay, that's actually like a pretty good point. I'm excited to see who else he's gonna bring on his show. So this is Snoop Dogg's show. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Kirk Franklin also says that despite him growing up in the church, that hip hop really influenced him, and that it wasn't so much. Well, not that it wasn't, but he just said that hip hop was like a strong influence in him. I was like, okay, I guess I can kind of see that.
I saw that little snippet. It kind of made sense.
Gospel music is influenced by jazz and hip hop and other forms of music. Like they use a lot of their instrumentals and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did not even. It just went right off the top of my head. I didn't pick that up. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, and I have a list of artists. They say Ghetto Boys, Diggle Planets, Big Daddy Kane. These are people that influenced Kirk Franklin. I was like, all right,
Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yes,
sense,
I was
though.
so like, what? Big Daddy Kane influenced your music?
Oh,
Crazy.
So Snoop Dogg talks about his experiences and when he first felt the Holy Spirit. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be bad. But he said he's at the age of 9, and he felt the Holy Spirit, and then he said he kind of knew
that something was going on.
Yeah, knew that something was going on. He picked up something from it, and he said that he knew that he was supposed to be doing more good than he was bad.
Yep, that's exactly what he said.
But even when he was doing bad, God was always with him, type thing. So
Always.
I thought it was pretty cool. And Kirk Franklin also opens up. I didn't know that he was adopted at the age of 4 by a 64-year-old lady. I didn't know that. So that's
Crazy world.
Yeah, crazy world. His parents was not in his life. Yeah, but when I think the combination of Snoop Dogg and Kirk Franklin, I don't see that. I didn't see it being a good interview, but it was very good. Well, they both have good personalities, and Snoop Dogg doesn't really seem to be like, I don't know, like rappers tend to be like really like hard type thing, but he's like down to earth kind of guy.
He's grown out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had his time.
Yeah. He had his time.
Had his moment.
It's a little moment. All right, well, let's go right ahead. Did I kick you? I'm sorry. Let's go right ahead into Theorize. So that's a little title that we came up with. So it's either everybody's talking about it or nobody's talking about it, but we're here to bring it up. So this is our question. At what point do you cut others off that you're talking to if you're trying to focus on one person, or when you're dating, is it okay to talk to other people? Let me re-say that question because that was a little choppy.
Yep.
So at what point do you cut other people off when you're talking to one person? Or is it okay to talk to multiple people while you're dating?
Are you talking about monogamously dating, or I'm going on dates with you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, that's a great fire back question. Wasn't ready.
Serious? Are you guys serious?
Like,
Exclusive? Or are you guys just, I'm dating him.
Okay.
So you guys are a thing.
Yeah, we're a thing.
And we've
People should
Well, I
know
mean,
that you're a
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
they should know, of course.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I was just making sure. I was just making
I think-
sure. Don't kill
then
me.
I think if people know that you're a thing, then it's definitely unacceptable. Then, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw it
It's
out.
not about people knowing. I just need to make sure that we're more than just
Yeah.
a thing. Like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Whoa.
That's
real,
y'all
like, we
seeing
gotta
eye to
talk,
eye.
like,
Y'all
we-
here.
See eye to eye.
Okay.
Not just, I think
Like,
we
that's my
talking,
man in my
I
head.
think we-
So-
yeah.
so if
I
you're-
think that's
In my
my boo
head.
or whatever.
So if you're
Whoa.
on a I think we're talking type thing, then it's okay.
I mean, if we're on a I think we're talking and we haven't established that, then
So hold
If
on. You
you-
see, you guys are
see, look,
confusing me
look.
now. So you think
If you're on
so?
a-
What's the difference between dating and
But
talking?
if you're on a I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we're
That's the
talking,
question. That's the follow
If
up
you're
question.
on a I think we're talking level,
No,
the
no,
other
no.
person is
That's not the
still
I
doing
think we're.
whatever
It's
they
either
want
we're talking or we're dating.
okay.
But nowadays, and it's
Nowadays you can't tell.
It's, you
Okay,
got some
now, okay,
stages
you
in
said that.
between that, over
Like,
that,
there's,
under
like,
that.
2 parts to talking. That sounds really crazy, but I feel like there's 2 parts because I feel like,
All right,
like,
go ahead.
you have that first little part where you're like, okay, this person's cool.
Mhm.
I'm gonna entertain them a little bit, but I'm also not gonna
Yeah.
completely shut that down.
Yeah.
But then you have like when you're talking, but you're like, I'm not dating you, but I'm also only gonna talk to you.
What?
Yeah.
Look,
I mean,
That's the stage right
it's
before
like,
y'all
it's right in the
become
middle.
a couple.
It's like right in the middle of.
Okay.
So if you in that point and you talking to other people, that's bad.
That's a no. That's
Yeah.
a no
It's
go.
like when you like, okay, now I gotta really cut these people off. That
Yeah.
time period where you're like, I gotta cut them off.
Is there a time where you like, okay, do y'all like talk about that time? Like, do you say, okay, yeah, we're serious, so you gotta make sure you
It's called the talk.
Yeah, it's called the like.
It's the name for it.
It's that question like, where do we stand?
Where are we going?
Where are you trying to go with this?
Exactly.
What are your intentions? That's
what
like
are your intentions? Am I wasting my time?
Like, are you
Do I
just
need to
here
move
to,
on?
you
No
know?
one
period.
asks about, being girlfriend and boyfriend, but
Yeah.
you're like, I don't want to cuss. I mess with you. There it goes.
And you just be
Ooh.
like, you'd be like, you know what's up? Like, no.
No, do I know what's up?
If somebody be like, you know what's up? No. What do you? What is up?
Yeah,
what is
yeah,
up?
Explain
What is
that.
this?
The
Explain,
sky.
Explain what's up.
What is this?
Tell
I
me.
feel like you always have to have that talk so you get things clear.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be like, oh, we talking heavy. Oh, I'm cutting off
You're not
everybody,
my
and
girl.
then
They
and
over
then
there
he
doing
what
this.
he want to do.
Right.
He over there
Then you
talking.
look
He over there
crazy.
talking to
Yeah.
Keisha and laying up with Lauren. And I'm
yeah.
over here like.
Whoa.
Well, there you got to
And I'm just over here watching Netflix and eating chips.
Look,
Right.
Like what?
Speaking of Lauren, she just popped in live.
She did?
Hey, Lauren.
Yeah,
Hey,
popped in
Lauren.
live. Okay, wow. That's okay. So the overall answer was, if it's been established, then it's a no.
Yeah.
But if it's not been established and you're kind of just iffy,
You're still single.
You're not sure. Well, I mean, aren't you still single in the you can't talk to anybody else phase too?
But you've had that. Well, I mean,
Talk,
yeah, you've had that talk though. You've
Had
had
that
that
talk.
like respect me enough
Right.
to.
I wonder in the older days was it this complicated? You know, was it?
Okay, now when you ask, when you're dating, is it okay to talk to other people? Like, what about if that significant other has a best friend of a different gender? Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean,
Well, I mean, if you have a best friend that was there before all of that established, then what are you gonna
You
do?
know,
You're a
there's
crazy
and then
girl,
there's some
you know.
people, and then there's some people that's like, no, they can't be your best friend because that's a guy, you're a girl. I don't trust it. He's gonna try like.
I feel like as long as the
That's a
only
whole
thing that
different
would make me a little like questioning is if y'all had romantic
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
experiences in the
Yeah,
past.
okay.
Like, oh, we best friends. It didn't
Right.
work out
Yeah.
between us, but we best friends.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna need you to step 2 feet back.
Right. Yeah.
And make sure the messages come in before 9 o'clock.
Oh, no, she didn't have time.
You got a curfew,
Like,
shawty.
you want it.
friends,
You have a
as long as
curfew.
you're respectful,
Yeah.
because
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm gonna need to know you if you've had a romantic relationship with my person.
And
Right.
she gonna need to know her place and know my place in my man's life.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. She sounds
Yup.
she got
Lord.
some
Yup.
experience. She was like, she
Yup.
don't know her plan.
In her place,
Mine.
my time.
Already now.
It's my man.
My man.
My
My
man,
man.
not your man.
My man is your man.
Okay, so for the best friend thing, I think that's something that often comes up a lot. Like, oh, this is my best friend.
Yeah.
And sometimes it really
You
be
just
their
be
best
looking
friend,
like-
and other times it be like, oh, okay, is it really your best friend?
How long has been your best friend?
Right.
Because sometimes it get played out just like they be like, oh, that's my sis.
Oh, yeah.
but you
Oh,
was
no.
just
Yeah.
You can't follow that one.
But that's your sister.
You can't follow that
Yeah,
one.
for
It's
real.
either their best
That's
friend
my
and nothing else.
sis.
Yeah.
Sisters and brothers,
Nah.
that's incest.
Nah.
Especially on
Nah.
this campus.
Nah.
If that's my sis, that's my bro,
Nah.
it's a done deal.
Nah.
Done deal.
Now, that vocab
Yep.
has a different terminology.
This is beyond me.
I'm weird. She had to say it one time. Okay. So
All right.
Anybody else want to weigh in on that? Anything else on that?
Got your thoughts out?
I mean, as long as y'all eye to eye, you come to an understanding. Y'all know. And communication is key.
So it's
Whoa.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's all.
got it.
That is all.
Communication.
Key.
Number
Key.
1.
Yeah.
Period.
Sure.
Done.
Done. All right. So let's go ahead and go on to the next thing. We're gonna get into tidbits. Jay's gonna start us off with tidbits.
All right. We're going to be talking about cultural appropriation.
Oh.
Cultural appropriation. Okay. A couple of weeks ago, model and reality TV mogul Kendall Jenner did another campaign with Vogue magazine, and it started a controversy on social media. The picture has Jenner alongside Moroccan model Iman Hammam, where Kendall Jenner's hair is in the form of an afro. People went into an uproar on Instagram when the campaign released. People commented things such as, they are trying to turn white women into black women. They would rather have us not exist and don't give us credit for it at all. Another person put, we used to have our hair burned and put into chemicals because society taught us that we were not beautiful enough to have our afros. And now they're trying to copy the afros and not put black women into those positions. Vogue responded in a tweet and said, we apologize if it came across differently than what we intended. And we certainly did not mean to offend anyone. This is not the first time Kendall Jenner has been in the hot seat for this. Last year with that Pepsi commercial.
Pepsi.
Black Lives Matter, they were not having it. And I wanted to see what you guys thought about it.
And you have a picture too of the
Yep, I do.
of what the, in case you guys didn't see it. I actually didn't know about it until Jada brought it to my attention. But what are your thoughts on it?
So for me, I am a very diverse person.
Okay.
I'm in Omega Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and we're big on diversity. I'm Belizean, Pan-African, Native American, and British. So I'm very big on diversity. So this right here just makes me think, like, I feel like I understand what's going on, but I really just wish, like, we could all just mesh together.
Right.
Like, your culture is my culture is your culture.
Right.
You know, just embrace everyone's culture. And I feel like, you know, if she does that, she loves the black culture. You know, like, I love when my hair is out and beautiful and, and curly, and I love when it's straight. It's just different parts of me, and it's different parts of individuals. And I feel like we take from different people's cultures, and that's just what it is. Because you find, I know me, myself, I find something in someone's culture that I like, I'm going to take it and use it because I want to embrace their culture while I embrace my culture.
Okay. So at the same time of, you know, of course, you know, saying that you see something in somebody else's culture, you know, taking it and using it, do you think that it needs to be not necessarily addressed, but, you know, like credited for? You know, like, okay, I pulled this from, you know, the African-American culture, you know, type thing.
Yes, so that I do believe that, you know, that was the thin line. If she would have did something like that, I don't think it would have blew up as much as it did because she's giving credit.
Right.
Like, you know, like saying, I love an African woman and I'm embracing their hairstyle or something like that, you know? And I think that would have, like, definitely made it seem like she wasn't just trying to take, because people look at it like, you know, all the stuff that's going on now, they're just like, oh, she's Caucasian, she's just trying to take whatever we have and make it her own and things like that. But there's a thin line between that and, like, just embracing someone's culture.
I feel like there are people that can embrace culture without cultural appropriating, but I don't think she nor her family does, because it's like, for so long, like, afros are just getting told that we're professional, and even some people who have coarser, kinkier hair are still told your hair's unprofessional, even though it's in its natural state, it's combed out, your edges are done. They're still told it's unprofessional because it's too coarse or too kinky. But on you can wear an afro. But if I just wore an afro and I didn't do anything to it,
it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
You can look disheveled, but I can't. Or when you wear an afro, it's cool, and then when I wear an afro, I look disheveled.
Right.
Or how big lips or big hips or, you know, traditionally African American features are looked at as ghetto or just bad in general for African Americans, but they're looked at as cute and trendy and popular for you.
Right, for other
or
cultures.
how if I were just to walk around school with my straight backs and then someone else did it that wasn't black, it'd be like, oh, I like your braids. And then they'd be like, why? You gonna put a wig on that?
Right. Yeah, that was a thing with, not necessarily with Kendall Jenner, but with was it Kim Kardashian?
Yeah.
The braids.
The boxer braids, they gave the names.
And to even agree with that, that is so true. And then that's when I say embrace it. Embrace your beauty. That is what I'm big on. When I wear my hair curly, I wish you would say, put your hair up. I wish someone would tell me that. Because you know what? When one door closes, another door opens.
Absolutely.
And you're going to deny me because the way I look, because I'm embracing my natural beauty, I will find another job. Whatever I'm going for, I will find it.
Absolutely.
You know, so for, you know, women that are going through that, I feel like you embrace it. When that door closes, another one will open. So just remember that.
Absolutely.
I agree with Leah and Key, actually. And I also feel like everything is starting to become like a big race war. They use a lot of stuff and turn it more into what it shouldn't be. Like the thing with H&M, the boy wearing the monkey sweatshirt, they made that a big thing. And H&M lost a lot of money from that. And, like, now my mom's in the military. And there was a rule where women couldn't have dreads in the military. And they just made it a rule where it's okay, it's fine.
Right. A lot of things are slowly changing, like you said, like, you know, the froze, and, you know, that's just now becoming appropriate and accepted, you know, like in the corporate, you know, type world, you know, where they can now wear like the natural hair, and where it used to be like the straight, and so it's definitely, times are definitely changing. So, but I think what they were trying to highlight in this was why not use someone who is, you know, who actually has actual
actual African American.
Right.
I see it from both sides.
Yeah.
Like, I can obviously see it. If you need somebody with an afro, there's plenty of black African American models that can do it.
Right.
But then again, people look too much into things like social media. I feel like now Instagram is, you having a bad day or something, you see something that's a little off, you're gonna just
go at it.
just go away at it.
It tends to blow things out
So
of
that
proportion.
everything's gonna get blown out of proportion. That's just how social media is right now. I don't know the solution to it, but that's basically how it is 75% of the time. But obviously they could have gotten an African American woman to do it.
They could have.
So easy.
They will tend to choose
Actually, the girl that was beside her, she was African.
Yeah, they
She was
embraced it and really gone to models that are African American and used their natural hair textures and done something to play towards that. Like, there are so many out there.
so many.
Gotcha. That's definitely good talk.
Yeah, it was.
Good conversation. Okay, so let's talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z and their millions and millions and millions and millions.
250 to be exact.
You said what?
250 to be exact.
Actually, it's not 250. It's more than 250.
Just from the tour.
Yeah, it's over 250.
Those tickets
they
for
went
that
up a little
concert
bit more.
were ridiculous. That's a whole rent
Right.
payment.
Yeah, like
Somebody didn't pay their rent.
exactly.
A couple bills.
Or their car note.
Couple
Yeah.
bills.
Tickets were ridiculous. It's
Now
like,
I know why I won't in attendance.
especially up front.
3,000,
front.
4,000?
Yeah.
No way. No way.
3-4
Now you have to get a hotel. Now you have to find transportation.
But they surpassed 250 million. And now it says on Tuesday the show brought in a whooping 253.5 million. The tour kicked off in early summer, ran through 48 nights in over 2 continents, selling over 2 billion tickets in the process. The On the Run tour brought in over 10 million on eight stops, with the highest revenue coming during the tour 2 nights in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yeah, so
I can say they are very loved. Their net worth together is ridiculous. Everybody loves them, even the president.
Even the president loves them. How can you not love B and J? You know.
They go anywhere.
Yeah.
They made a whole.
Oh yeah, we not talking about Trump.
We don't talk about Trump. No way.
That's not my president. We not my president. Not my president. Yeah, but they definitely are money makers for sure.
Especially their video for 8.
Oh yeah, that was
ridiculous.
inspiring. Okay, so what else do I have? So let's get into the Melanin report. So both of these are coming from the Shade Room, thanks to them. So the first one I have is Kelly Shakur. We were just talking about the natural hair, but she is the CEO and founder of Fro Gang LLC. She's a 31-year-old mother of 1 son, and she created Fro Gang due to the lack of representation of natural hair that she witnessed in media, and her observations of black hair not being accepted, promoted, and encouraged. So I definitely think we need like more people like that, you know, pushing the, you know, be yourself type thing, natural hair, the look. So she developed Fro Gang in 2016 with the hashtag, and then 2017, she said God gave her the vision that would change the way black women view natural hair for generations to come. So shout out to her for doing something great in the community. What are y'all thoughts on that?
I definitely think it's needed. I think that even though natural hairstyles are becoming more accepted, I think that without the groundwork of organizations like that, it wouldn't be as accepted.
Okay.
I think that embracing your natural beauty is important, and I don't think in the past we've gotten a chance to do that a lot because we're trying to conform to more Eurocentric standards of beauty, straight hair, super skinny, you know, doing the things that will make us feel pretty according to the media. And I think stepping out and saying that my natural hair is beautiful as well, like not taking anything away from you, but this is beautiful too. And I should be able to wear my hair how I want to, be it natural, be it weave, be it braids, is something that's really important to show young girls and women alike.
Right.
Yes, I love that. Shoot, with that being said, I know like a quote, I don't know who it's by, but it's like, it says something like, why fit in when I was born to stand out? So that makes me kind of think of that, because we need more beautiful women, you know, of African American descent or just culture to like stand up for what they believe in, stand up for their culture, and come out and show their hairstyles.
Pop out.
You know, pop out, yes. So, you know, because it's beautiful. I look at people and I see them with their natural hair, and some, like, because of, you know, social media, some people are like, no, I need to do something. And I'm like, no, your hair is beautiful. What are you talking about? You know, they're like, no, I wish it was this or that. And I'm just like, embrace what you have. God made you the way you are for a reason. Absolutely. So embrace it. Embrace all those tight curls, because they make you who you are.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's definitely a process, though, that embracing. Like, I've been natural for going on 6 years, and I think the first 2 years I was still going to the salon every 2 weeks to get it flat ironed, like, and making sure that I was pressed, ready to go, wrapping my hair, like, and I think maybe the past 2 years I've been wearing it out more so every day. Well, not now, but before this, I had a fro out, and that's what I normally do.
Okay.
But like, self-love is the best love. Like, if you don't love yourself, then I mean, really ain't nobody gonna love you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Self-love is the best.
But no,
love.
I mean, having that self-confidence that, oh, I love me how I am. It takes a lot of time. You gotta accept you for who you are, and not everybody can just do it like that. Right. Some people can, and some is just like, no, I gotta change this. No, I gotta change this. But actually, all in all, you look perfect.
Right.
Like, I used to do it, but now it's just like, I'm me.
Hey, shout out to being you.
And to even go for that, that means like women, y'all need to uplift everyone.
Each other.
Yes, each
other.
So that is what I do. Like, if I see you and you looking cute, I'm like, yes, yes, you look good. You know, literally just uplift your sisters. Like, that's what I'm about, because if you don't uplift her, who will?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what she's going through. Right. You know, we go through so much as women, you know, that we need some positive uplifting sometimes.
You
so
give it that simple yes, that could be the best thing that ever happened. You don't even know.
Never know. Make their day.
A little shout out. What are your thoughts?
Oh, what are my thoughts? Oh, their thoughts. They said everything that I was gonna say.
Oh, so you just go.
The self-love, the confidence, wear your hair out.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
All of it.
Yes.
Natural sister.
Come on.
Yes.
I feel kind of like powered.
It's Black girls rock.
Yeah,
Trey,
absolutely.
Black girls rock.
Absolutely.
Trey.
I don't disagree. I'm all for it. I'm with it.
Like, Black women mentally, they're the most strongest people, and they're the most disrespected people. But at the same time, they're the most strongest.
We're like the lowest.
I feel like resilience is key in that. I mean, because end of the day, you still have to accept yourself, no matter what someone has said about you, no matter what someone said about your gender, your race. You still have to accept yourself and love yourself, because if you let all that stuff get to you, you're never going to. How do I want to put it? You're never going to fully love yourself if you're just like, oh, they said Black girls are ugly, so Black girls are ugly.
Right,
like,
but constantly putting yourself down.
I'm cute.
And then it's gonna get to the point where it's like, oh, it's just words. They can't do nothing to me.
Right. Yeah.
It's just a word.
Kind of unlock that mindset type thing.
That's what I had to go through, because since being mixed, sometimes I didn't fit in with people that had darker skin than me or lighter skin than me, because I was mixed. So I learned to accept me how I am. Every flaw I love now, because this is who I am. So, you know, that's why I just say, like, stop, like, bringing people down. Just come together, you know?
Much positivity in this room. I can feel it's like overwhelming me. You know, it's kind of taking over.
Yes. Let it take over, Trey.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into the next part of the Melanin Report. So this is also from the Shade Room. Thanks again. Shout out to them. Cleveland business owner gives out tickets, Cavalier tickets, to encourage people to vote. I thought that was unique and probably pricey as well. You're giving out NBA tickets just to go vote. So it says Cleveland businessman Larice Purnell is using people's love for the game to get them to the polls November 6th. Purnell made a name for himself in Cleveland, where he serves as a community leader as managing partner at a business consulting firm. Now he's trying to get his community to the voting booth. Purnell's giving away 24 Cavalier tickets to Cleveland residents who find time to vote early. Early voting Cleveland began October 10th and will continue to November 5th. What are your thoughts on that as far as encouraging people to get out and vote and stuff?
I really wish it wasn't needed.
Right.
I wish that people could see the way our country's going, and a lot of people complain about the laws that are passed and proposed and things that are going on, and then they sit at home and don't vote.
Right.
Which is kind of backwards if you think about it, because how are you going to complain about something and then you have all the power in the world to fix it? Like voting, especially for African American people, is a right that we didn't always have.
Right.
And you should, one, honor the people that helped you get that right. And care about the future enough to try to change it. You have the power to elect these officials. And as long as you're going to keep them in office, nothing's going to change.
She over here preaching. I feel like Michelle Obama about to call her on the line. You know what,
That's
girl,
the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
That's true. That's absolutely true. I think people need to do their research on who they want to win, that's going to benefit them, and get up and go vote.
Right.
You know, and even though we do need it, I think that's good that he did it, you know.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we need someone to push us
Yes.
to go
Right.
do the things that we know we should do.
Right.
So
I know when I couldn't vote, and it's not just the presidential election. It's it's all votes. So even people that are local.
Midterms, everything.
Right,
You should vote every time.
They count as well. But I couldn't vote, and I was telling my friends, look, you 18, you better go to the polls, you better vote. Because we're not trying to see this man in office. But by then, it's pretty much not. I'm not gonna say it's too late, but most of the work is kind of like done by then, because you have your local officials who are elected and stuff. So definitely, I think more now than ever, a lot of people are gonna start voting, especially with who's in office. It's real.
Honestly, and the midterms are a little more. I'm not gonna say they're more important than the presidential ones, but they really do matter.
Right.
Because with the electoral college, I mean, if that's gone, then 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be harder to get the person that you want in the office.
Sheesh.
They kind of are more important, because your local elections affect your life. Your local elections affect your life more than the presidential elections in most cases.
And this is not
with the government, the cities and whatnot, school funding.
Right.
You have to vote.
Absolutely.
And they should definitely start with the kids for that. Like, start teaching them as soon as they, can reach a certain age to understand what's going on, so that when they get older, they can pass it on, and then more people will come out and vote.
I know at my elementary schools in South Carolina, they would do like this thing, and they'll do like this fake presidential election thing, and you'll get a sticker like, I voted.
Oh, okay.
Walk around, be so happy. I voted today, Mommy. I voted.
Right.
So.
Like, I also think that's part of your parents teaching you, because I remember my parents used to bring me to the polls with them.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, they ingrained in me early that it's important to vote. Like, shoot, I got to be late, got to do,
Right.
So I used to go with them to the polls for every election. And that was something that they did for both my sister and myself, so that we could see what it's like to vote, so we could have these conversations.
Yeah, that's really good. I didn't even think of that. Taking the kids with you to the polls. I don't even. Well, obviously they can. If your parents were able to take you.
My grandma is. She's one of the officials to do the polls in Virginia.
Okay.
They do so much work. Like, they'll be there from 6 in the morning to 10 at night. It's so much. Like, I've actually went and helped them set up things.
Right.
Do all that kind of stuff. It's so much.
Voting is something serious. Like, see, while your parents, it took you in there. My grandma, she going to voting polls. I used to beg to stay in the joint. I don't want to stand all that time. Let me just sit in the van. Yeah, so, but it's definitely something important to do. So, make sure you get out and vote. Election day is November 6th. So make sure if you guys are registered to vote, go out and vote for sure.
Yes.
So the last segment is advised by TANDJ, but it's going to be advised by all of us. We have a couple questions. that Misha pulled from her Instagram. Thank you to people who ask questions. So someone asked a question. How do you fix a toxic relationship? So,
Leave.
Leave. Say it again. One more time.
Leave.
she knew. So there's no really.
Leave.
Is there no fixing a toxic relationship?
Leave.
Like at all?
That if the relationship is that valuable to you, you need to love them from a distance.
All right.
I think that
She's preaching. She like she chills.
you can't
Preaching.
try to fix a relationship that's broken beyond repair, or try to fix a relationship that is damaging you spiritually, emotionally, physically. You need to leave that situation. I mean, it's not I hate you, it's I wish you well, but you can't mess up what I got going for me.
Gotcha.
You need to pray for some signs. And then when you get them signs, don't ignore them signs.
Attention.
Yes, pay attention. So if those signs is telling you to leave, you need to leave.
So there's no
okay?
fixing it. Misha, what do you think?
What you got
You
to say,
know,
Mish?
I actually can relate to this question.
You're a little personal. You're a little
About
personal.
2 years ago,
Oh,
I
no,
was
she
in a relationship.
get you.
About 2 years ago.
Throwing dates out there.
All right.
I wasn't realizing how toxic my relationship was. I didn't realize how mentally abused I was getting. And my friends would be like, Misha, you need to do this, you need to pay attention. I'd be like, no, it's fine. Da-da-da. But I really wouldn't listen. And then even my mom told me. Came to the point where my mom was like, you got to let him go. Don't trust him. Da-da-da. And I was like, nah, Mom, he's a good guy. He's really good. But all in all, I should have listened to my friends. I should have listened to my mom. Because after, like, we broke up, it kind of tore me apart. But at the same time, once we broke up, everything got better. I started getting more opportunities to do stuff. I started a whole clothing line. I came to college with a 3.7 GPA. I graduated with honors. Like, I started getting a whole bunch of more stuff. And then it was just like, that was that one thing I thought was a blessing, but it was a lesson holding me back from what I needed to see.
Yeah.
So how did you get to that point in learning that was a lesson? Because I know so many people that leave the toxic situation and then they're kind of really messed up about it. Like, they can't see that they don't need to be with said person.
Wow.
So how did you get to the point where you're like, this really was a
Right.
lesson, more so than I need that person in my life. Like, I still need them, even though they treated me this, that, and the third, and like I was less than, I need them. How did you get over that? Like,
So, like, after we broke up, it was like, it would be my time where, I would cry, I would be hurt. I'd be like, dang, why this happened? It's my fault. But then after a while, I start seeing how much more of a happier person I was without that person. I start seeing of how more active I would be with my friends, how more open my eyes were to opportunities and different things I could do, rather than having that one person where you're like, oh, come do this with me. And they're like, no, they're holding you back from something you really want to do. And you just don't do it because you're like, okay, they don't want to do it. I really love them, so I'm not going to do it. And then I also start seeing, like, them around with their friends, and I would see how they act. And I would be like, why? What was I thinking? Like, what did I see, really? And I would see that that's not the kind of person that I need around. That's the kind of person that doesn't want you to succeed at higher levels. They want you to stay below them or at the same level as them. I mean, it took a lot of time.
Right.
As you can see, I'm still single. And I'm the most happiest person in the world.
She lit.
So, yeah.
So
It's really a time thing.
Okay.
But everybody takes it differently. It might take longer. And you might try to get a relationship or try to get things from people that you didn't already receive.
Okay.
Like, say your parents weren't there in your life, you'll try to expect that relationship from your friends. Like, my dad wasn't in my life. So, like, so I have a boy best friend. My boy best friend is like my brother, but he also treats me like I'm his kid. He helps me a lot. And it's like, okay, my dad wasn't there, so my best friend is kind of my dad. Like, he's that relationship I never had, that bond I would never be able to get. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
I definitely understand that part.
So it's more so a time thing, and it's something that you see for yourself. So you said that you found yourself, more happier, and then that you looked at him and was like, okay, what in the world was I thinking? Or like, what did I see in that person? So that's kind of
What are your thoughts, Trey?
I don't think you can fix a toxic relationship.
Okay.
Like y'all said. I think it's more so of taking a step back and then, like trying to recoup with yourself, you know, and try to get yourself back together. So I don't know if it's toxic, and if it's labeled as toxic, I don't think there's any way for you to not make that relationship toxic if you already said, okay, this is what it is.
Okay.
Also, it's more of a maturity thing. Like, people mature at different ages. It's always known for females to mature way earlier than boys do. Like, it's boys, so-called men now at ODU that's like, I'm matured.
No, you're not.
24 and I'm at way mature. Like, and then you can not only have a toxic relationship with somebody that's your boyfriend, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be anybody. It's not just somebody you think you love and stuff like that.
Right. Absolutely. I didn't even think about that. You know, like, not even it just being, you know, in the relationship part. It can be, you know, family members, or it doesn't necessarily have to be like well, technically it all is relationship. Well, I mean, like an intimate relationship. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. So.
And to also just go off of that is, once you start realizing what you're worth, you'll be able to see, like, so if you're saying it's toxic, you'll be able to either see if this could ever move on, or you'll be able to break that chain and just let go.
Right.
So I would just say, focus on yourself. Literally, focus on everything about yourself, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Because once you start working on yourself, you'll start seeing, like, oh, what's he doing for me? Oh, why is he doing that? And then you'll start, like, slowly, like separating yourself from him.
I thought you brought up a good point with the signs. Once you start figuring out those signs, take them.
Like
that gut feeling.
What am I benefiting from this?
Yeah, that too.
How are you making me better than what I already am?
Right.
Shoot, what's that song by Queen? Is it Queen Naja?
No.
My intuition never lies. There we go. Right there.
By never in her singing. Okay, so let's get into our next question. This is our next and last question. So is it better to follow your dream even though the outcome is risky with great reward, or to do something that you will be financially stable with but not necessarily happy with?
For me, I'm saying go big or go home.
Okay.
Literally. And that's how I live my life, because if you live in your life like basic, I feel like you'll never be able to push yourself to that limit to know what you can actually succeed in.
Right.
So I feel like you go big, or you're gonna be unhappy for the rest of your life. You at some point in your life, you have to take a chance.
Absolutely.
You know, all the big people you see in this world, they took a chance somewhere, somehow, and they struggled.
Right.
They were at the bottom.
Absolutely.
You know, and they got up. So I feel like you just gotta push yourself and try stuff that you never tried before. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I definitely got that go big or go home vibe from you for sure.
Yes.
What are
Go
your thoughts
Monarch.
on that?
Yes.
Yes.
I agree, but I think that for me, I need to do something financially stable.
Okay.
And I need to work on my passions in my downtime.
Okay.
Because there's 24 hours in a day. I'm only going to be asleep for like 5 to 8 of those. So if I have to work for 8 hours, then I have somewhere there's math in there, but I have at least some hours to dedicate to my passion.
Right.
Look, I don't math.
Look, 5 to 8 hours. That's good in college.
A group of
if you
hours
get that.
to dedicate to serving myself, and then that way I'm still financially stable and I can still pay my bills, but I can kind of take my risks in private until I've seen the reward enough to make them public.
Right. So you're more so on the safe side of it. So I want to be financially stable where I can support myself, but at the same time, I'm not gonna give up on my dreams, and I'm gonna go for it. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm financially stable. What are your thoughts, Misha?
Misha is a risk taker. You know, my grandma has always told me to go for what I believe in, follow my dreams, no matter what anybody says. If they don't agree, that's on them. What you want to do in life. And I can relate because I'm in school for 8 years. I'm getting my PhD. I'm going to be a sports medicine physician. And
money.
I know it's going to be like a whole bunch of money that's going to be coming out of my pockets, a lot of medical school, a lot of this and that. But at the end, it's like my mama helped me if I need her financially to help me pay stuff. But it's like, yeah, I'm going to be broke maybe, but once I get there, I can pay it all off. I can look back and be like, dang, I really struggled, and look where I'm at now. I never gave up. So it's just like, and then at the same time, you got to challenge. It's like a thing where you got to challenge yourself.
Right. Like
there's always a thing where you go over your limits.
Right.
In high school, I took all AP classes. and I was like, this is about to be hard. I'm about to fail. When I took all those classes, it was just like, it's just easy. Like whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. You just gotta focus.
Gotcha.
Jada? I like all y'all responses. They were so good.
Here she go.
No, I'm not going to do that. You thought that I was going to do that.
Yeah, I like how
but you want to know what I think?
Yeah, what you think?
From the original question, if you're going to go ahead and go for your dreams and whatnot, God's going to put you in the right place, the right predicament. You're going to find the right person for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to come. He or she's going to come.
What? Why
That
you
dream,
jump back to...
Look, I'm just saying. The
She's
dream.
just going. She's just going.
Go ahead.
You have to follow the dream.
Okay.
Because once those opportunities leave, then you're going to have to go and start from the bottom again. So start from the bottom, and then he'll come.
You're always going to fall.
You're always going to
up,
fall.
Always.
Yeah.
It's going to be multiple times where you fail.
You're always going to fall.
Multiple times.
You're always gonna
Well, while we talking about that, then I'll just spill some soup or something.
Okay.
So I tried to become homecoming court like 3 times before I even got an interview.
Hey. Okay.
Yep.
Before you even got
know
an
that.
interview.
Well, see?
The
Before I
struggle.
got an interview. So, and then after I got the interview, I still didn't make it.
Oh, wow.
I still didn't make it, but I kept trying.
Right.
You know why? Because that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
I know I'm going to fall.
Right.
I'm going to get back up and
Right.
look at me now.
Right. And if it was that easy, you know what I'm saying, everybody would do it. So,
Yeah.
you know, not knowing that, you know, you tried this a couple of times. Oh, she telling the truth towards the end. No, but not knowing that, you know, you tried a couple of times and you didn't get it, but, you know, you kept at it and you were consistent with it. So, you know, if that's something that you really want, you know, definitely go for it. So that's big. That shows a lot. Were you finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one last thing.
One last thing.
One last fact. One last fact. Everybody was put on earth for a reason. Everybody got a plan written out that they don't even know. Like, you struggling, that could be your plan to struggle so you could get back up.
Right.
Exactly.
It's just a thing where his toughest soldiers are here. Like, we all here. Everybody's here. Ain't nothing we could do. Ain't nothing we could change. People come and go.
Right.
Some people maybe made me feel it might hurt, but it's a reason they left, and it was a reason they were there.
Right.
So it's just like, it's you. And once you find, everybody's here for a purpose. Once you find your purpose and once you find you, everything just flat out laid for you.
It all comes together. Well, my thoughts on, you know, the whole taking a risk type thing. You know, I definitely think you should go for your dreams, and, you know, you shouldn't settle. And yes, it may be uncomfortable, but I also feel that you being uncomfortable puts you to push yourself, you know, push yourself more than you actually would if you were comfortable and you were financially stable. Not saying, because that might not be everybody's, you know, options. Like you said, you'd rather be financially stable and still work on, you know, your dreams. But at the same time, I think, you know, not being as comfortable puts you outside your comfort zone, and it pushes you to work and get to where you want to go. Yeah, I definitely think you should definitely go for your dreams. So, you know, don't settle to be, you know, financially right if that's not what you want to do, because you're always going to have that, oh, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have did that, you know, regret type thing. You're going to be good, but you're going to kick yourself, you know, all the time because you didn't take that risk or that chance. So definitely I would say go for your dreams. Never settle for less.
And you never know. While going for them dreams, you might have another dream that's even bigger than what you thought your dream was.
Right.
Find something even better.
Yeah. That's definitely how it works. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. We went through everything on the list. I want to thank you guys for coming out on such short notice and talking, giving the whole homecoming spiel. I want to remind people to go vote for you. Go vote for Kierra Martin. You can vote on her Instagram and Twitter. We have her Instagram in the bio. And we want to thank Miss Leah Wells for coming in and talking to us about her previous experience with homecoming. And Miss Jamisha, thank you for coming in as well. Best roommate ever. Oh, hope Miriam's not watching. But I want to thank you guys for coming in. I want to thank everybody that's watching. Jada, you got anything else?
Oh, thank you for coming.
It's been lit.
Thank
Round
y'all
2.
for having us.
Yes. Black Girls Rock.
Yes.
Can you not end it on
Black
that?
Girls Rock.
Can we like TNJ type thing?
TNJ, Child's Play, and Black Girls Rock.
Y'all gotta be there.
BET needs to pay us something. Black Girls Rock.
They do.
No, they do.
Cut
They
the
do rock.
check.
Thank you guys for watching.